You know, there are many characters in hockey history, many people that are remembered. This guy has been singled out as probably the last link between old time hockey and the modern goon era of the NHL, which has since faded since he was probably one of the most interesting cats in the, like I said, the 1970s, early 1980s goon era. Of course, we have to talk about the infamous Goldie Goldthorpe. Now, Bill Goldie Goldthorpe, also known as Harpo, is best known as being the inspiration for Ogie Oglethorpe, not Goldthorpe, in the 77 film Slapshot, which was starred Paul Newman, Michael Longuin, and a bastion of Quebec and American and Canadian hockey players, including Bruce Boudreau. Now, Goldthorpe, a left winger, was a notorious hockey enforcer. A lot of people couldn't take him seriously because of the strange machinations with his haircut. He was also once called the wildest, meanest, most unpredictable player in hockey. There's various documentaries that talk about it. Now, in his checkered but yet respected 8-year career from 1983 to 80 and 83-84, he played for 10 minor pro league teams and 4 WHA squads. Well, technically more than 4, because the Michigan Stags and Baltimore Blades and the Spurs and Civics played under 2 names that season. Now, along the way, he had a grand total of 1,132 penalty minutes in just 194 pro games. Now, born in Hornpain, Ontario, he played his minor hockey in Thunder Bay because his father was an engineer for the CNR and his mother was a nurse's aide. Now, at their wedding, the great Leo Boivin, who's now in the Hockey Hall of Fame, served as Goldthorpe's parents' best man. He played junior hockey with the 4th Art of Mars, the Thunder Bay Vulcans, and the Thunder Bay Centennials from 69 to 73. He first met his junior coach, Albert Sava, and at a midget tournament in Dauphin when Sava was wrestling with a referee who had slugged a spectator. In his last season with the Centennials, he led the league with 189 penalty minutes. Now, he was eventually signed by the minor league Syracuse Blazers in 1973. He played 55 games that season, notching a respectable 20 goals and 46 points while piling up 285 penalty minutes. He played for the Blazers in the playoffs and was also called up to the WHA's Minnesota Fighting Saints for 3 playoff games. He also encountered Gordie Howe in the playoff round. Now, during his professional career, Goldthorpe would play for numerous teams in the minors and a total of 66 total matches in the WHA. He was generally only used as an enforcer, but occasionally showed he had some skill as well with the San Diego Hawks, where he scored 13 goals and 28 points in 39 games and led the league with 267 minutes and penalties. He was eventually given tryouts by both the Leafs and the Penguins and appeared in exhibition contests for both teams, but never played a regular season NHL game. Now, I think he would have fit in with Pittsburgh, Toronto not as much, because he would be so popular, Harold Ballard would be trying to get rid of him right away. Now, this is where it gets bizarre. In 1980, Goldthorpe was shot by a drug dealer while trying to intervene on behalf of an ex-girlfriend. His kidney and urinary tract were damaged, which derailed his career. He spent the next 2 years recovering. He did return to professional hockey in 83 with the Moncton Alpines for 1 game, then finished the season playing senior hockey in New Brunswick with the great Riverview Trappers. It was his last season of competitive ice hockey. Now, his father, who had helped Goldthorpe recuperate from the shooting, unfortunately died not long after. His death changed Goldthorpe, who then returned to school. His hockey career was over, but he stayed in shape and became a bodybuilder, winning the 1985 Mr. New Brunswick competition. Later, Goldthorpe returned to San Diego, eventually becoming a foreman at a construction company. In his later years, he lived in Vancouver, working for the same firm. Goldthorpe is well-known on the speaking circuit, and again, various comments on his career hockey are not allowed, but are shown on various YouTubes. Now, just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, 72, again, Thunder Bay Vulcans of the Manitoba League, then moved to Syracuse Blazers, then the Syracuse Eagles, and the Syracuse Blazers of the NHL. 75, Michigan Stags, 7 games, 26 medals and penalties. 76, played with the Mariners for 14 games, scored his first WHA goal. Played with Denver and Ottawa for 12 games. Then with the Erie Blades that year for one game of the NHL. Then the Broom Dusters of the NHL. That's where he was most well known, because with the Broom Dusters logo, which was based on the cartoon character from BC, that year he had 17 points in 19 games and 156 minutes of penalties. Now, 77, Thunder Bay Twins of the OHA Senior League and the Richmond Wildcats of the SHL. 78 with the New England Nighthawks of the IHL and the Toledo Gold Diggers of the IHL. 79, San Diego Hawks of the PHL. Then Spokane Flyers of the WAIHL. And 84 with the great Moncton Alpines of the AHL. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, 3 playoff games, like I said, in that 74 season, his original WHA season. So, he played again in many leagues: WHA, AHL, NAAHL, SHL, OHA Senior League again, and the Senior Hockey New Brunswick course, the IHL, the PHL, the WAHL, and the MNTBHL. Now, this is where his legend continues here. When the comedy movie SlapShot was made, Goldthorpe was still an active player. Now, according to Ned Dowd, the brother of SlapShot writer Nancy Dowd, and a hockey player in his own right, the character incorporated elements of Goldthorpe, especially his wild demeanor and frizzy Harpo Marx-like haircut, but it was not actually him. Goldthorpe has said the producers were thinking about putting him in the film, but he was not offered a role as he was charged with assault and broke a bottle in the dressing room when Paul Newman's brother visited. Dowd himself wound up playing the Goldie-like character, Ogie Oglethorpe. Now, Goldthorpe was well known for never backing down from any challenge on and off the ice. He ended up in jail, allegedly no less than 18 times, incidents he now attributes mostly to his drinking. Like the fictional Ogie Oglethorpe, Goldthorpe was once serving a jail sentence, but is allowed out for practices and games. Now, on January 1st, 2008, during the first intermission of the NHL's Winter Classic outdoor game in Buffalo, the NBC showed a short piece on the movie SlapShot and Goldthorpe's connection to Bob Costas. Now, Costas once did radio play-by-play for the 73-74 Syracuse Blazers, Goldie's team at a time, and there's numerous YouTubes about the relationship with Costas and Goldthorpe, but I don't know how much is story or true. You'll have to judge for yourself. Just track down to YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube on Goldthorpe out there. Now, in the 2000 TV movie Mr. Hockey, the Gordie Howe story, actor Brian Clark, a former player who had appeared in the hockey comedy Goon, plays a character obviously inspired by Goldthorpe. In Goldie's usual subtle style, the player threatens to bury Gordie's entire family in the desert before referees drag him away. Now, we call that in the States trash talking, but we call that in the Canadian senior hockey program just telling the truth. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, because I covered the North Shore Senior Hockey League of the modern era, not of the 1970s. I know Gordie Lant played in Dalhousie for a while, but I really don't know. I'll have to check on this for a future podcast. If he ever played against the Campbellton Tigers, the Bathurst team, Dalhousie, people would have talked about it. I don't know if he may have played in exhibition games or whatever, but when he played that one game in the Moncton Alpines, everybody was talking about that because they thought he was going to get into a fight, but he did take a penalty. But you can imagine, the guy from SlapShot playing in Moncton and the Alpines there had a big fan base. There's also some tape out there of some fans reacting to the fact that he was there that night and was playing. But how it worked back then, ladies and gentlemen, former WHA and minor pros would play senior hockey because some senior hockey leagues would pay underneath the table. And, a lot of my friends in the North Shore can attest to that, to get him a job in like a mill or downtown, because all they had to do on a Thursday or Friday night, if the Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling was in, was senior hockey. So, and by my memory, I don't think there was much wrestling in the winter, so I think it was mostly senior hockey. Unless my memory's a little bit off. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with some of our vintage podcasts, let us know. And if you like SlapShot, watch it again, because it's a good Christmas movie. Because, as we like to say in the chocolate bar industry, you know what you're going to get. Have a good day. Bye.